Rightio, you lot. I've had a look about and I've noticed that my bike, this GT, what is it, Tempest? Yeah, GT Tempest is sitting about doing nothing. So I'm reluctantly going to have to sell it. So I thought what I'd do is I'd use the opportunity and do a few videos on how to make sure your bike is nice and safe. The first thing I've noticed when I got this bike out is the fact that the tyre is not on the rim. It's completely flat. The front one, however, is perfect. I don't know why that one's... Maybe this had a slow punch or something last time I used it. Last time I used this was about 2 years ago. And it sat over there in the shed, etc. ever since. So yeah. What on earth is that? What on earth? Oh, I know what that is. Bit of filler or something, probably. I thought it was a worm to start with. I thought that's most bizarre. Anyway, so I've turned on the old compressor. Now I don't recommend using these. I dare say you've all seen plenty of videos where kids or people have been pumping their bike tyres up with air compressors and they've exploded. So it's not a good idea to use it if you're a bit stupid. You know, people just sort of put air in there and wait and see what happens, where really you don't want to be putting too much air in. But it's the only thing I have at the minute is this compressor, so I shall be using it, and we'll pump the old tyre up. Oops, hold on a minute. This is where my superb camera skills come into action. Yeah, we'll pump the tyre up and we will see whether it actually has a puncture or if it just went down throughout the time. 2 years, not all things. Oh wait, I can hear the air coming out. Oh, yep, that ain't good, is it? Yeah, it's definitely coming out, but where? Oh wait. Oh, it's just coming out the valve. That's why. It's just coming out the valve. I thought it had a puncture for a minute. I thought we were going to have to get the old puncture repair kit out. Alright, let me put the camera down and we'll do it properly. Well, there we go, that's much better. 30 seconds later, the tyre's all pumped up. It was a little bit, because it's been sitting there for 2 years on its, flat on the bottom, it had made the tyre a little bit misshapen. But yeah, it's all pumped up now. Nice and, well, I don't know what pressure it is, but I just want to make sure that it ain't going to go flat. Once I know that it's not going to go down, then I'll put the right pressure in it. Well, I say the right pressure. I usually just do it, to how soft or hard I want it, depending where I'm riding. Some people are very anal about their pressures. Oh, it must be the right pressure. Oh no, I don't want uneven wear on my tyre. I just like it. I just do it how I want to ride it, to be honest with you. So yeah. Now, first thing, you want to make sure your brakes are alright. Probably can't see, it's too dark, but hey ho. On this one I've got disc brakes actually. Full of spiders' webs. Do you know what, I really don't want to sell this bike. But I don't ever go out, ride bikes anymore. So it's the only one we got left, all the other ones got nicked when we got broken into, so be a great big shame to sell this really. Anyway, so yeah, basically just for just routine sort of maintenance, things what you can do, or that you should do, is, oh look, the tyre's popped out a little bit there. I'll have to sort that out in a minute, I didn't see that. I think it's just where it's just sat and the tyre's become a little bit misshapen, so it's not quite holding in the rim there, around that bead. I don't know, I'll sort that out in a minute. I know the tyre's the right size, it was on there for like a year. You can see there where it's gone in too far. The bead's gone in too far there. It's because that's probably where it's sat on the bottom. We'll sort that out. Anyway, what was I saying? What you should do is, you see a lot of people that don't oil their gears. You see people riding along and see either squeaking a lot, or this is all jumping about. I don't know the technical names for a lot of these things, because, well, I never have done. I just use common sense. But no, I like to use, you can use WD-40, They do a special sort of chain oil. I don't know what it's called, so I've never used it because it's expensive. But they say it's specially formulated for chains and gears, etc. Which it probably is. It probably does do a good job. But at the end of the day, all these are is mechanical cogs and gears, right? On a chain. All they need is lubrication. Now, I've tended to use, you can see up there I've got a oil thing. I've just got 1040 engine oil in there. Squirt a bit of that on there. That'll do the job fine. WD-40 will do the job fine. Maintenance spray does the job fine. As long as it's oil, it'll do the job absolutely wonderfully. WD-40 is probably the most widely available stuff, or engine oil is even better. So just make sure that all your gears are well oiled. You know, you don't want tons on there because it's just going to drip everywhere and splash everywhere up your leg and everything. But you just want to make sure that they're oiled. You know, a lot of people don't oil their pedals, and then they end up having bad bearings on their pedals. Stick a bit of oil in there. Make sure your little pedal is well oiled in there. Also, you need to make sure your bearings. Well, it depends whether you've got suspension or not, but we'll go to that in a minute. You need to make sure that your bearings are well oiled. The ones on your... No, I forget what these are called now. But you need to make sure that bearing is well oiled. It should come with grease, but I like to oil mine anyway. You shouldn't really mix oil and grease, but hey ho. You need to make sure these bearings are oiled. All I do is drip a bit of oil on there, trying to get it on the brakes. Now, I dare say there will be some people going, you should never oil that, you should never oil that, don't put any oil on there. Well, I always have done. Anything that moves generally needs some kind of lubrication. I always stick a bit of oil in there. I take the cable out, hold it up, stick some oil so it goes down the cable, so the cable is well lubricated as it's inside this sleeve. Because I've had it many times before when either the gears or the brake cables become very stiff because there's no lubrication in the sleeve because it's all dried out over time. And then what happens is either wears the sleeve out or it wears your cable out, and then one day your cable will snap. So making sure you drip some oil in there and letting it run down on the brakes and on the gears is, well, in my opinion, very important, because otherwise you just end up having to replace cables and you have a stiff cable in the meantime, and it's just annoying, especially when you have to pull your brakes really hard. You want your brakes to be nice and easy to pull, and you want your gears to be nice and easy as well. That is what you want. So pretty much that's it, my friends. There's plenty of things. What I might do. Oh, hello. What I might do is strip this. I can't remember if it's the front or the back. I think it might be the front. I think the front bearing is a bit loose. In a video or two to come, I'll strip the bearing off and I'll show you how to adjust and possibly even change the bearing. Because when I sell this bike, I don't want to sell it in a bad state. I want to sell it in a good state. For two reasons. One, I want to get top dollar for it, because I'm skint as hell right now. And number two is, I don't want to sell something to someone in a bad condition. If you buy something, you want it to be good, don't you? So that's that. Let's try and sort this tyre out. Well, I've just noticed something actually while I've just sorted this tyre out. Something what's going to bug me. Looking at the particular tyre itself, it doesn't appear to be directional. Well, it probably is, but it doesn't appear to be. Now I've noticed something written on the side of the tyre. You tell me if you can see it. Look at the way that it's on. Look at the way the tyre is on there. Now, when I go around, you see if you can tell me something, or tell yourselves. I made that very obvious. It's all around the wrong way. Now that's going to bug me. I never put this tyre on. I know, you're probably thinking, yeah, he's just saying that. No, I didn't. This tyre was already on there when I bought the bike, and luckily I've never had a puncture with it. All the time I was riding it, never had a puncture, never wore it out. It's the same tyre, it's a little bit worn. But obviously it's on back to front, and it's going to bug me now, so I'm going to have to take it off and change it around, which is even worse. But yeah, I'll do that in the next video when I strip the bits down, when these strip it down, and put it up for sale. If anyone wants to buy it, it's a GT Tempest There it is, GT Tempest. Very, very good bike. Very, very light as well. Excellent bike. Really can't fault it, man. It's a lovely bike. If you want to know anything, you know, how to do things on push bikes, or anything really, just ask me and I'll make a video. But for now, I think that's going to be it. I've told you a few basics. How to pump a tyre up. If you don't know how to do that, you're in trouble. And just make sure you always keep these well oiled, man, because it's very, very important. Not only will it wear out, but it'll make it difficult to ride the bike if you don't oil it regularly. So there you go. Enjoy your push biking, my friends.